everybody, it's Sherry from Alleged Actually. I'm back for another episode of the Alleged Actually podcast. So I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I know I did. I was so grateful to spend time with my family and eat all of that food that I will be really trying to work off. And then we have Christmas right around the corner. So yeah, it's going to be a struggle. Your girl's on the struggle bus there, but I did enjoy my Thanksgiving, and I hope you all did too. But I did want to get into a little bit today, just a quick little recap on Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine. Let's kick it off with the Housewives of Potomac. And let's just talk about, well, first off, let's kick it off with the scene with Robin and Giselle. When they meet to have some cocktails and some apps to discuss, you know, the whole thing, the intervention, the whole thing about her and Juan. I guess Giselle's thoughts are, you know, she actually had a conversation with Juan. Robin's still don't care about nothing attitude was preceding her for sure. Giselle was basically saying, you know, I had a conversation with Juan. He was just basically stating, I did not cheat. I did not insert myself in this woman, yada, yada, yada. All right, cool. And from Giselle's perspective, I get it. You know, haven't we all had that friend that you try to tell her? And no matter what you try to tell her, she's just going to stick by that man. And you're just going to just like hands off and say, all right, girl, you got it. And I kind of think that's where Giselle's at with it. Respect that. Been there. And so they go on. But then Robin lets her know that previously she had a sit down with Nneka. And oh, by the way, can I just do a little apology on my previous episode where I incorrectly announced Nneka's name? I think I called her Nneka. The correct pronunciation for her on Potomac is Nneka. Her last name is Nneka. So she had sat down with Nneka, and Nneka had told her the whole story about how Wendy's mother supposedly has done some sort of voodoo on them, has created a shrine, and has done this in some malice towards her family. What a shame, guys. I'm jumping a little bit, but I'm going to start there. What a shame. Here we have two beautiful Nigerian queens that are successful. I also want to correct my statement on the last podcast, because now I'm thinking that no, it to me seems as though this is the setup moment for Dr. Wendy. What a shame. What a shame when these two women came from the same tribe of Nigeria, and they're both beautiful and successful with extremely handsome sons, handsome husbands, and they're coming for each other, when they should be supportive and like a unit, you know? Because let's be clear, you know, Potomac is a good show, but, you know, there has been instances on a couple of reunions of the topic of colorism. So let's talk about it. Seems like, and we all know that colorism it's a real thing, okay? It's a real thing in most minority groups, but particularly in our group, it is a thing. And so you have your fairer skinned ones, as in your Ashleys, your Giselles, and your Robins, and Karen. Karen seems to be, you know, she's somewhere in the middle there. You know, she's not feeling that, you know, entitlement whatsoever. She's a neutral party, which I appreciate. Love you, Grand Dame. But the others seem to have a different kind of attitude. I don't love it, but we'll put a pin there and we're going to come back to that later in the season. But what I wanted to talk about mainly was then Robin brings forth to Giselle at the time when they were sitting down for having their cocktails and apps, her conversation with Nneka about Wendy and her family, which is a shame, which sets the premise for Karen inviting everyone to a pickleball event and things going left. I guess it started off good. You know, Karen, trying to do the peacemaker thing, had teamed up the ladies such that those that didn't quite get along were going to be teammates, you know, kind of supporting each other, playing the game. The guys were there, and you know how it is. The husbands, Guys get along no matter what, right? They don't like drama, or supposedly. At any rate, the pickleball event goes on without a hitch at first. And then Ashley tries to apologize for misrepresenting what was told to her by Nneka. And then it goes into the situation with Nneka speaking on her mother creating the shrine and this voodoo situation, which is ridiculous. Guys, I had high hopes for the season. And not that I still don't. It's just, they're going to have to give me a little more. I'm not interested in a bash of Dr. Wendy. There are so many things that we can unpack here and really dive into, such that, you know, are we accepting that Robin just don't care? I mean, if sis don't care, she don't care. Are we going to glaze over the fact that there's a fake relationship between Giselle and Jason from Summer House? That's whack. That's real whack, y'all. I mean, there was absolutely no chemistry at all. That was so forced, okay? In my opinion, okay? Doesn't add anything. Ashley needs to bring it. This bone carrying method that she does with these half-truths, sis, come on now. I don't know. We're going to have to stay tuned to see. The pickleball event ended with, you know, the wand knocking into the table, knock the food off, acting like, oh, you know, the voodoo's here, is coming to get us. I didn't love it. It wasn't great. I'll stay tuned for next week because she's on the fence right now. Moving right along to Married to Medicine. Y'all, let's just say Married to Medicine was a cool moment because we got to witness the marriage of Dr. G and Sweet Tea. The wedding was beautiful. But y'all, so really the whole intent of the show was to premiere the wedding, and it really was beautiful. It was. It gave some background into certainly their age difference. The way that Sweet Tea's mom, you know, had to be like warmed up to the idea, whereas her father was kind of like, oh yeah, he's a doctor, yeah, go for that, whatever. Okay, what else, right? But what I loved about it was the wedding came together beautifully. I will say that Dr. G looked extremely happy. As the ladies arrived, Dr. Jackie's there without her husband, who is in the DR handling business. I don't know about that, lady. We know how he handles business sometime, but if you're good, I'm good. Anywho, Simone and Cecil come. They're there. Toya and Eugene come at the same time as Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon come. Heavenly, I'm sorry. And Dr. Damon come. And Dr. Heavenly is not on the list. Sweet Tea admits that she took her off the list because of at the bachelorette party or the pampering party, she had made the comment they thought that the wedding was rushed and that was a lot of the reason for her blow up. And she didn't think it was right. Her longtime friend sitting right there and listening. I mean, ladies, let's be clear. I'd go back and tell my friend, wouldn't you? And she did. Sweet Tea was like, nah, bro, then you off the list. Anyway, they're not on the list. However, they end up coming on into the wedding later in the show. But a little tea. Some background information I did said Miss Phaedra was actually not on the list either, okay? But production said that she should be or will be allowed because she's to film there, which is a shame. Because rewinding on the episode, but before the episode that aired last night for the pamper party and the bachelor party, I'm going to talk a little bit about that too. Miss Phaedra brought in Miss Quad to her party. Child, how messy is that? Now, let's be clear. It's all a part of the story. We know this is for ratings and for drama, but we have to realize that Sweet Tea is young. I believe she's 31, 32 years old. oh God, 20 some odd years younger than Dr. G. And she's amongst these women that are A, already reality stars, B, used to the show, C, man, bosses within their own rights, trying to make a name for herself, and they're friends with Quad. So, I mean, let's be clear. That's hard. And so, I don't know how it's all going to turn out for Sweet Tea, and we're not certain still. The jury's still out on whether she's a really good fit. But I will say the wedding was a nice touch. Let's rewind to a week prior when there was the bachelor party hosted by Cecil and the pampering party hosted by Toya. Child, Dr. G's behavior was disgusting. I'm just saying, if that was my fiance, ma'ams and sirs, no. He was repulsive. One thing to let your hair down, fellas. And I really felt like the rest of them did, but then they was just kind of looking at him like, particularly Dr. Damon, good man. Him and those strippers, ew. Ew. Just ill. And then to call yourself inviting them to your wedding, one of them, really? He bears a watching, ladies and men. Just saying. Pampering party was nice, but the messiness did ensue. Typical. I did respect Toya though, because Phaedra, they were all in their lingerie. It was just kind of had the men there to give you the massages and the pampering, and particularly to focus on Sweet Tea because it was her day. And Sweet Tea was under stress, so there was a blow-up situation between her and her twin, which left us kind of puzzled. But I don't know about you guys. If you've ever planned a wedding, it's stressful. And particularly if you're planning a wedding on national TV, even more stressful. And oh, by the way, you're marrying one of the stars of the show's ex-husband, and there's this expectation for greatness. And, you know, I get it, sis. At any rate, I'm starting to see this season, you know, it's coming together nicely. Phaedra bringing in Quad, I know it was to bring the drama, but it's like, ew. And child, let's just talk about this for a second. Now, I love you, Miss Parks. I do. I love me some Phaedra. Two things. At the wedding, when she was sitting by Cecil and Simone, and he reaches over and he asks her about Apollo. Child, why she said they was together since 12th grade? Say who now? Because last time I checked, isn't Apollo like 5 years younger than you, ma'am? So you was in a relationship when you was in 12th grade and he was like in 7th grade? Girl, stop lying. I don't know what Phaedra's adding to Married to Medicine. And I am a big Married to Medicine fan, as well as all the Housewives. And I will be getting to those because I am anxious to recap. I can't wait to get into that. We're going to do this twice a week because there is so much content. And I want to talk about those shows because there are some other ones that are shaping up. Real Housewives of Miami is good this year. Beverly Hills, I'm ready to dig in and dig deep. And I hope you guys keep tuning in because I got way more to say. I just wanted to catch in on you guys today so that you don't forget that we're here, because we are here and we are going nowhere. But I don't know what Phaedra's bringing to Married to Medicine. I really don't. You know, I get that Bravo wants to kind of, you know, replace her because I loved her on Housewives of Atlanta. I truly did. And she certainly has something to bring. She's funny. Her quips. She's witty, sharp-tongued. Timing is impeccable with that shade. But girl, what are you bringing to Married to Medicine? I am not seeing it yet, and I'm not impressed. But I'm going to keep tuning in, and I hope you do. And I hope you keep tuning in to Alleged Actually, because we're going to keep bringing it. So tune in with us again, please, on Thursday as we bring to you some Married at First Sight. We're going to talk a little bit about Love and Marriage Huntsville. And there's some other things we're going to talk, a little bit of pop culture. There's some things going on that we need to discuss. And I hope you guys stay with us because we're going to bring it. So thank you guys. Those of you that have viewed us, on our last 2 episodes. I pray that you continue to stay with us, view, subscribe, share, please, because I'm going to be right back here talking about those shows that we all care about. We love that reality, and let's talk about it. Questions in the comments, things you want to have us discuss in the comments. Please continue to support us. We're here and we're coming right back with more. Until then, guys, stay real. Alleged, actually, podcast, subscribe, share and like. We love you. We'll be back. Tune in on Thursday. Until then, y'all have a good one.